as we mentioned before, we have some phenomenal keynote speakers this morning joining us, Rae and Rae Jordan. I'm going to read their extremely impressive bios to you all, and then we'll give them a warm welcome. So Rae Jordan is a powerful advocate, speaker, and co-founder of Rosal Cares, inspiring others through his resilience and unwavering determination. Born with spina bifida, Rae uses his story to motivate people to rise above limitations and embrace their full potential. He plays a vital role in shaping the organization's mission and community outreach efforts. Rae's heart for service and authentic leadership continues to make a lasting impact on those around him. Rae Jordan is a community leader, entrepreneur, and co-founder of Rosal Cares, a nonprofit dedicated to making essential supplies accessible to families in need. Through his work, Rae has helped serve hundreds of individuals by combining compassion with innovative solutions like the Little Lift initiative. He is also the founder of Raise the Sunshine and Love, a retail brand rooted in positivity and purpose. Rae is passionate about mentorship, impact-driven leadership, and proving that adversity can be transformed into purpose. So without further ado, let's give a very warm welcome to our 11th annual Connecticut Secondary Transition Symposium keynote speakers, Rae and Rae Jordan.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for just coming to see, just me and Rae and all the rest of the amazing people that are going to be presenting today. Before we begin, we want to just thank the collaborative effort of all the sponsors and organizers who worked hard to bring this room together. I know it's hard with all of you guys' busy schedules to make arrangements for this, so thank you guys also very much. When people gather like this, with educators, families, students, advocates, and leaders, something powerful can happen. Because the future of young people is shaped in rooms just like this. But before we talk about the future, I want to take you back to a moment in my past. When I was 15 years old, I heard a door slam behind me that I'll never forget. It wasn't a normal door. It was a thick steel, heavy, and felt final. I had just been placed in a high-security youth prison. And when that door closed, the sound echoed down a long hallway. I remember standing there frozen for a moment. Then I heard the noise, people yelling, banging on metal doors, voices echoing through the corridor. It didn't sound like a place meant for growth. It sounded like chaos. It sounded like a cage. And I remember thinking to myself, is this who they believe I am? Because labels are powerful. When a young person is labeled, quote unquote, at risk, troubled, or system involved, the world can start making decisions about their future before they ever get a chance to. That moment could have defined the rest of my life. But today I don't see it as the end of my story. I see it as proof that trajectories can change. And the reason this moment matters is because in this room are people who shape trajectories every single day. Educators, families, advocates, and professionals. People who believe in young people deserve a chance to build something greater than the labels placed on them. And speaking of labels, my twin brother Rae received his label the day he was born. He also has the label of being the baby brother, because I'm 1 minute older. Yeah. So technically, I remind him who's the boss every year. But really, before he ever spoke a word, before he ever showed the world who he truly was, Rae was diagnosed with spina bifida. And for much of his life, people saw the disability first, but they didn't always see the leadership inside him.
Faith has been quite a force in my life. Not always loud, Not always easy, but steady. Faith meant believing in my life had purpose. Even when people around me saw my limitations. Faith meant trusting even though even though doors seemed closed, there was still purpose moving forward. Faith didn't mean everything was easy. It meant believing something meaningful could happen in my life. As I'm healing through my 29th year on this earth, knowing the tribulations that came in my life, like such as bullying, knowing it didn't prosper, this goes to show you that hope may be small, but it's mighty. Sometimes I'm reminded by a Dolly Parton quote. He's everything, he gives me hope, he lifts me up, he gives me wings, he lifts me up, and he gives me strength.
One moment, guys, because Ray's been super nervous, and I just want to tell you I'm really proud. All right, so many of you in this room work inside systems designed to support young people every day. And those systems are filled with incredible people who care deeply. But sometimes systems become focused on managing needs instead of unlocking potential. Transition meetings happen every day across our country. We talk about services, programs, accommodations, support plans, all the important things. But rarely do we ask a different question. Not where will this student go, but what will this student build? That shift changes everything.
Community is the reason I'm standing here today. Community is when people stop seeing what you cannot do and start helping you discover what you can do. It's the teachers who encourage you. It's the friends who stand beside you. It's the mentors who help see your abilities. After all, together you and I can stop the rain and make the sun shine. It's the neighbors who remind you that you belong. Community is not just about support, it's shared strength.
That's right. So we want to bring it back to where it all began. So before Rosal Cares, before Little Lift, before any of the work we're doing today, everything started with something simple, a blanket. In 2019, Ray began making blankets by hand, not because he wanted to start a business, not because he had some grand nonprofit plan, but because he wanted to help people going through difficult moments. Those blankets were given to homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, cancer centers, and individuals going through traumatic experience who needed comfort for free. He called this effort Rays of Sunshine and Love, because Ray wanted people to feel warmth and hope. Then something unexpected happened. COVID hit. And suddenly, many of the places we had been donating to could no longer accept physical donations. Shelters had restrictions, hospitals had restrictions, and we found ourselves with stacks of blankets that were meant to help people, but nowhere to send them. So we asked ourselves a question: what if we sold the blankets and used the money to help people with essential needs? That decision changed everything for us. Rays of Sunshine and Love slowly grew into a community store. Today, when people walk into our store, They see blankets, chocolates, candy, popcorn, gummies, candles, room sprays, soaps, home decor, and other feel-good items. But what they're really seeing is something deeper. Every purchase helps supports the mission. Every product helps fuels compassion. And the store became a way for our community to participate in giving back. That is how Rosal Cares was born. Rosal Cares became our essential supply pantry, a place where families could receive food, hygiene items, baby supplies, and everyday essentials with dignity. And in our very first year of operating in 2025, something incredible happened. We began forming partnerships with organizations across our community. Organizations like CHR, The Village, local daycares, schools, Gentle Love Connections Diaper Bank, Connecticut Children's Medical Center. We were honored to receive a grant from the Hartford Public Giving. Those partnerships and referrals, through those partnerships and referrals, Rosal Cares has now been able to help nearly 1,500 people in our community. And each number represents a story. A parent trying to provide for their child, a family navigating health challenges, someone who simply just needed support. One of my proudest moments has nothing to do with awards. It's watching Rae in his rhythm at the pantry. Families walking unsure, sometimes embarrassed, and most of the time overwhelmed. Rae greets them, and he treats them like they're a human. He helps them select their items, but he also takes the job very seriously. Sometimes I think he's the strictest person in the building, because if you sneak an extra item into your cart, Rae sees it immediately. He misses nothing. He's a hawk. But I love it. But more importantly, he treats people with dignity. And that moment reveals something powerful. Rae is not someone receiving services, he is someone providing them. That's when I realized something important. Transition should not end with independence. It should lead with leadership.
In every story and every journey.
Oh, Rae, before we begin, because we were on the pantry, I know it's kind of off script, so, but with you being involved in the pantry and the direct operations and seeing more or less that impact, how has that left an impact on you, and how does that make you feel going in Monday through Friday?
Well, it's really simple. To me, I see it as it's a miracles happen every day.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that people go in nervous, scared, whatever, what have you. But as they go through the pantry and get the food, the hygiene, whatever they need, you could see that little light start to flicker, and by the end, they either say thank you, or in some cases, they've literally broken down in tears because they're like, oh my God, this is a home. And I'm like, that was the point, that was the reason why I'm so proud of that place, because it isn't just a pantry. It's a home where people could feel safe and loved and protected. So it's very important and miracle, and it's a miracle place. That's what it is. It's a miracle place.
Very well said. And Rae will never take the credit he truly deserves. He has become the staple. I mean, he's the reason why we started everything. And with us, we're an appointment-based pantry. We're open 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we book appointments every 15, 30 minutes or so. And it has just really been nice for us, the most important thing before we kind of move on is that, coming from a single mom, coming from, hard times ourselves where we needed to utilize resources like pantries and shelters and things like that. For us to be here today doing what we're doing, it's very important for us to make sure people have their dignity, because your current situation doesn't mean that's what your whole life will be. Things change. And we believe as long as you have a plan and at least you have even minimal support, you can get through anything. So I'll let you keep going.
Hey. In every journey, there are angels. Sometimes they appear as mentors, sometimes as teachers, sometimes as friends. Angels are the people who remind you that your story matters. They believe. They believe in you before you believe in yourself. Their encouragement becomes a spark that helps you move forward. We are all the unlikely angels that have a destiny to let our wings soar. Reflection allows us to see how far we've come. I look back at my life, I see challenges, but I also see growth. I see moments where I believed in myself, but I also see moments where people believed in me. Reflection reminds us that our stories are not just about the past. They are lessons that we can use to help people find their way. Don't forget this little lesson. Lean in. Try to count your blessings and keep counting. If you fail at first, it's okay, because you are not a failure in God's eyes.
That is right.
Your turn.
So as Rosal Cares continued to grow, we started noticing something important. Access to essential supplies like food, hygiene products, diapers was often tied to barriers. Families standing in line, transportation challenges, childcare challenges, and sometimes just embarrassment. One day a parent came into the pantry and you could tell they were nervous. They kept looking around before selecting anything. They needed help, but they also wanted privacy. And that moment stayed with me. Because needing help should never make someone feel small. Everyone deserves dignity. And when we zoom out, we realize this isn't just one family. In Connecticut alone, tens of thousands of families are navigating food insecurity and struggling to afford basic necessities like hygiene products, diapers, and everyday essentials. In Connecticut, about 1 of 7 people are facing food insecurity. And for children, it's even more alarming. About 1 in 6 kids don't have consistent access to food. That's over 500,000 people in our state struggling with basic needs. Many are working families. Many are doing everything that they can, but the gap between income and cost of living continues to grow. And what that creates is not just financial stress, it creates emotional stress, it creates barriers to access, and sometimes it prevents people from reaching out at all. And for us, we believe that if people can have help, or at least have the basic essentials, that they can be able to focus on the things that really matter: their finances, their health, their family. But when you're worrying about where's my next meal coming from, or how am I gonna not stink today, like you're thinking about the small things when you really need to be focusing about the big things. Everyone should deserve the basics of food and soap, in my opinion. So we started asking a bigger question. What if access to essential resources could be private, simple, and dignified? What if that system itself removed the barrier? That question became something we now call Little. Little is a smart locker system designed to provide essential supplies to individuals and families through secure code-based access. Instead of standing in a line, instead of feeling exposed, a person receives a code, they walk up to the unit, they enter the code, and that locker for the specific items they're requesting opens. No lines, no stigma, just dignity. Here's how the system works. Individuals complete a quick online application. Once approved, they receive a secure access code, similar to Cash App or any really place that sends you a code. That code allows them to pick up essential items directly from a Little Lift station. The system tracks inventory, usage, and restocking needs, which allows us to operate efficiently, responsibly, and at scale. Now imagine where these could live: schools, community centers, housing complexes, healthcare facilities, places where people already are. But not many have easy access to essential supplies. Little Lift meets people where they are. But what excites us most is not just access, it's opportunity. Imagine students, especially those navigating transition, helping managing these systems, tracking inventory, coordinating restocks, learning technology platforms, engaging with the community, building real-world skills like leadership, responsibility, and ownership. Little Lift becomes more than a resource, it becomes a hands-on transition model. And every Little Lift unit includes something we believe is just as important: a QR code. Because sometimes what people need goes beyond supplies. When someone scans that code on the machine, they'll have access to a growing directory of resources like healthcare providers, mental health services, behavioral support, food programs, housing assistance, and other community services. So Little Lift doesn't just provide items, it connects people to ongoing support. It becomes a bridge, not just for survival, but for stability. Now imagine this with us for a moment. A student, a single parent, really anyone in need of basic needs, walks up to a Little Lift station. They enter their code. The locker opens. But what opens isn't just a locker. It's dignity and independence. It's access. It's opportunity. Because Little Lift isn't just about access to supplies, it's about access to opportunity. Our goal this year is to launch our very first Little Lift system. In moments like this, where people who care about young people, education, and community come together, is exactly how ideas like this begin to grow.
Love is the foundation of everything we do. Love means lifting people up when they feel unseen. Love means recognizing the humanity in every person. Love is not just a feeling, it's an action. And when communities act with love, lives change. I know a thing or two about love. My mission is to spread it across the world. Just like how God loves us. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him will have everlasting life.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a professional speaker in no way. This is really my first actual talk in front of this many people. So I'm learning as I go. Most of what I've learned today came from listening to Rae. Now Rae says I should probably get my hearing checked because I have selective hearing.
True.
If anyone else has heard that
Okay,
before.
true. Especially, hold on, especially for the young ones around here that have siblings. Y'all know what I'm talking about, so just leave it at that.
See, I knew he was gonna hang me out, but you know what, it's all right.
Let them know.
But when it comes to the things that really matter, I do listen. Somewhere in Connecticut right now, there's a student sitting in a classroom, and their future is quietly being shaped by expectations, by belief, by opportunity, or maybe the lack of it. We stand here today not as a success story, but as evidence. Evidence that labels do not determine leadership. Evidence that systems can evolve. Evidence that belief can transform lives. The next innovator, the next entrepreneur, the next community leader may already be sitting in one of your classrooms. From labels to leadership, from services to opportunity, from limitation to possibility. The future of transition is not compliance, it is contribution. And it begins when we stop seeing labels and we start seeing leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Before we get started, I kind of talked briefly on it, but I do want to thank my mom very much. Coming from
Yes.
a single parent home,
Love you, Mom.
to see,
You got it.
to see,
Come on. Got it.
come,
Come on. You got it. You got it.
to see her sacrifices, we wouldn't be here today without her. So, sometimes we can be a little tough. We can, now me being having 3 kids,
Oh.
I know, I know, I completely get it now, and I'm forever indebted, and we are extremely grateful for that moment. So extremely amazing, and I'm extremely also blessed to have my girlfriend Jenna. She has been a backbone. It is really the truth when they say like someone can't really truly be a king without a queen. Just that support and that love and that guidance that someone can give you through really any moments is invaluable. So, and lastly, we want to thank God for giving us another opportunity,
Absolutely. Mainly.
in life. As from starting off, I was pretty difficult growing up. At 12 years old, I thought I was a man. Like I didn't even know what a man was. I could barely clean myself properly. And to be able to go through the things and be here as a testament, it's it's extremely grateful and it's refreshing for us, especially because all it takes is one person to truly believe in you,
Yes.
to be there as support. But more importantly, it starts within. You have to be able to believe within yourself, and once you believe that you can do it, other people will believe that you can too. So. We're just extremely grateful for all of you guys taking your time out of your day today to come see us and take your time with us. And we also do have a vendor table out there. So if any of you guys would love to connect, talk, meet, or attend this, we are here. But Ray said he wanted to leave a few questions out there. So if there's anyone that has any questions or that would like to say anything, we're all ears, as long as you're not microphone shy. Any waivers, any questions, right? Because for Ray, I think this is an important opportunity for him. I want him to be able to see that even he was flustered a little bit, all right? And for him to do what he did so clearly with confidence really does make me proud. So I really am. I'm really am happy of him, and I want him to also take this moment to be able to either have any questions, any feedback, or anything that you might have took away from this talk. So we would love to hear it.
No hesitation, guys. I'm gonna have open ears.
I wanted to just yell, so I didn't have to
Oh.
go.
I was gonna come to you if I had to.
That's okay.
Where is your store located?
Yep. So great question. We have two locations. We have the pantry, and we also have the store. So our store is located at 652 Center Street in Manchester, Connecticut, and we're open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And our pantry is at 430 East Center Street, and we're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And kind of on that note, if anyone in here ever has an opportunity where, maybe possibly we can work on doing some different supply drives or collection drives where we can kind of work together. Because of, I didn't really touch too much into it, but the store is what allows us to essentially stay self-sufficient for the pantry. So we're about 70% self-funded, and at times, I'll be honest with you, it is tough. We're helping hundreds of people a month, so it is a little challenging at times. So we are always open to an invitation of where we could maybe collab on resources.
One more question. What was the process you needed to go through to get up and running?
So that's a good question too. So the process itself, it was interesting because when we first got started into this, it was just out of, so I'm not sure, I'm gonna answer kind of both, but for the store, it was just more or less out of, we just wanted to help people going through hard times. So when Rae started making those blankets, he would just give them to the cancer centers, domestic violence shelters, just places that were going through hard time that needed that little pick me up. So it really just started as kind of like a hobby for Rae. Just wanted to get involved. He learned to put the blankets together, cut them, tie them, because they're handmade fleece blankets. We use 2 pieces of fleece, cut them and hand tie them together. And then from, COVID was a blessing in disguise, I guess, how we look at it. But that allows us to kind of pivot and see, well, what else can we do? And with the pantry, we started that more or less kind of out of sheer need in our community in Manchester. There was a lot of uncertainty around different benefits. People were losing hours in some ways, and people just needed the basic essentials because we started to think about what is some of the most important things, right? Of course, your home, you need transportation, and many other things. But we kind of narrowed it down to, well, people have the basic essentials. They can essentially be able to focus on the things that truly matter, and maybe allow them to get ahead. Because maybe that $200-300 that they would have spent on that can go towards a bill, that can go towards a saving if it's used responsibly. So we try to think of what are the minimal things, but when stacked over time, creates momentum.
Yeah, I just want to say, Rae, you said a lot of motivational things about faith, love, and hope.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to write like a little book of like quotes or inspiration?
Oh, yeah. I've definitely thought about it from time to time. Yeah, if the opportunity came about and it was serious enough, yeah, I would definitely do it.
And Rae put his speech together. He said, I don't want no help. I want to take care of this. So I'm really proud of him.
What kind of donations you guys accept?
Uh,
And where can we?
So
I'll take this.
you got it.
So, if you're talking about like the pantry, we accept like food, like non-perishable foods, like cans, pastas, that kind of stuff. But we also accept like hygiene, like soaps, shampoo, conditioners, deodorants, so that whole gamut as well. But the only rule I'd say is that we don't, or we try not to do expired um, product. That's our only rule. But everything else, we'll be more than glad to accept. So if you have like hygiene or canned foods or whatever, by all means, we'll be glad to take them.
Yep. And to piggyback off of Ray, uh, like the non-perishables, we move through a lot of like pastas, rice,
Yes.
canned items, veggies, canned pastas, those kinds of things. And for our hygiene, we carry everything from shampoo, conditioner, soap, toothpaste, deodorant.
Yep.
And for our diapers, we have the connection with the diaper bank. So generally, we're usually pretty good. We get a donation every quarterly. Our last donation was 14,000 wipes and 7,000 diapers. So he's amazing within himself. His name is Kyle. He's only like 23, and he's going to school, doing all these things. But he started this by just wanting to help people that help babies that parents didn't have it. And we're great that we're able to start this like a year ago when we started the legitimacy of the nonprofit. We didn't think it would have led us to all the different connections and networks and the people it has. So it is truly amazing. All right. So.
Do you have time for one more question?
Oh, sure, please.
Can everybody hear me okay?
We
Yes,
are fine.
no, we can hear you just fine.
So my question is, regarding the store,
Yep.
would you be open to a field trip? Wherein my amazing kiddos and my glorious classroom can do a food, like a try within the school, bring you donations and visit the store? Is that like a
Oh
fun?
my goodness.
Yes.
That would actually be great. Maybe we can, work together to pin like what's their age limit, stuff like that. Maybe if the time permits, we can even set up an activity and things like that. There's a good amount of space in there, so we would definitely love to see how we can move forward on that. Thank you.
Definitely. All right.
What is your next step? What is your expansion plan? What would you hope for growth?
So thank you. You got some great questions too.
Awesome.
So really
it.
our main priority right now is continuing to make sure we can maintain structure. So our current flow, make sure we can just be able to handle that. Really, we want to be able to also scale our store. We just opened up the storefront 7 weeks ago. So it's still in baby. So we're really focused on getting that stabilized. But beyond all of that, we really think that the most important thing right now to move the needle is Little because that really will allow people to get support when they need it. It comes to them instead of having to work around, pantry hours, maybe some pantries may run out of resources. This allows us to be able to track, control the flow, and be able to help people when they need it. Even though it's a little bit more of like a care package, it will at least allow them to get through a few days and then connect them to continuous support where either a food bank, pantry, whatever the resources that they need, they can be able to set up an appointment and move forward on that. Any last?
I do.
Oh.
Would you like to share where your contact information is for folks willing to connect about field trips and supply drives and all that good stuff?
Yes. So if any of you guys are on Facebook, Facebook is our main platform. So you can either look up Raising Sunshine and Love or Rosal Cares is really where we're at. but we're now trying to continue to build out our TikToks and Instagram. You know, these young kids and stuff now, we gotta keep up.
Oh, great.
But yeah, and on there, you can either reach us through there, or we can also share our number with you guys, our emails and stuff in the back. So if you are interested, our table's right through the door, and we would love to connect with any of you guys. Is there any last things you wanna leave off?
So, this might be a little unorthodox, but if, and you know where I'm going head with this. So, it'll be a little unorthodox, but if you guys will allow me, I would like to end at least our time with a little prayer, if that'd be all right. So, all you guys, please just close your eyes, bow your head, and I'll lead off. Dear God, thank you for having this beautiful room full of amazing, amazing people, and to have us speak about hope, love, and joy with how everything that's going on. This room is such a light, and I thank you for allowing this day to happen. So as we leave our part and the others come, may you continue to guide them and allow their voices and their words to connect with these people as well. So before I go, say thank you, I love you, and guide and protect these people in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Love you guys.